Lesson 66. Whenever we see the words est or sunt, we have to think about whether or not to use the he, she, or it that's in est, or the word they that's in sunt. We have to sort of look around in the sentence and see if there's another word that is the subject of that sentence. If there is no other word to be the subject of the sentence, then we end up using the he, she, or it that's in est, or perhaps the they that's in sunt. So that's the main thing you think about when you see est or sunt. But in this lesson, we're going to learn yet another thing that est and sunt can mean. So from this lesson forward, you'll have one more choice of how to translate est and sunt. So in this lesson, we're going to learn how to translate est as there is, and we're going to learn how to translate sunt as there are. So let's look at these two examples here in the middle of the page. The first one says, est femina in scapha. And you can see the translation there says, there is a woman in the boat. So in this sentence, we're translating est as there is. Let's imagine for a moment that we didn't know that est could mean there is. How would we translate the sentence? Well, we might translate the sentence as, the woman is in the boat. However, if the sentence really meant that, probably the order of words that you would see would have femina coming first and then the word est after that. Femina est in scapha, or femina in scapha est. But the difference here with this sentence structure is that the word est is coming first. And that's a big clue. When you see the word est coming first in the sentence, that's a big clue that est could be translated as there is in that situation. So again, the first sentence says, est femina in scapha, and since the word est comes first, it's very likely that it will be translated as there is, and so the proper translation for that is, there is a woman in the boat. Now our second example, sunt nautai in insula, in this sentence we're going to translate sunt as there are, and then we have the sailors on the island, so this sentence is going to say, there are sailors on the island. If we did not know that sunt could mean there are, how might we translate this sentence? Well, we might say, the sailors are on the island. But if the sentence really meant that, sunt probably would not come first. Probably what you would see is nautai coming first, and then the word sunt. So it would say, nautai sunt in insula, or you might see the word sunt last. Nautai in insula sunt. So again, the fact that the word sunt is coming first in the sentence is a big clue that it might be translated, there are. So again, the sentence is, sunt nautai in insula. We see the word sunt coming first, so we translate it as there are, and so the sentence means, there are sailors on the island. And then in the very last paragraph, all I'm saying there is that when est and sunt come first in a sentence, to strongly suspect that they could mean there is or there are. Okay, let's get some practice with this new usage of est and sunt. In exercise number 1, we have the word sunt coming first in the sentence. So let's translate that as there are. Puella is the subject, and in casa means in the house. So number 1 will say, there are girls in the house. In number 2, we have the word est coming first in the sentence. So that means there is. Then we have scapha as the subject, and a prepositional phrase, prope actam, which means near the seashore. So number 2 will say, there is a boat near the seashore. In number 3, nato is the verb. That means I swim. Numquam is never, and prope insulam is near the island. So, I never swim near the island. In number 4, the word sed divides the sentence into 2 independent clauses. The first one is silvam desideratis. Desideratis means y'all long for or y'all want, and silvam is the direct object. In the second clause, amamus means we like or we love, and scaphos means boats, and that's the direct object. So number 4, as a whole, will say, y'all are longing for the forest, but we love boats. In number 5, amas means you like or you love. It's negated by known, and insulas is the direct object. So number 5 will say, you do not like the islands. In number 6, the word et is being used twice to mean both and. The word sunt is coming first in the sentence, so that makes me suspect that it will be translated as there are. There are 2 subjects, agricolae and feminae, and a prepositional phrase in casis. So number 6 will say, there are both farmers and women in the houses. In number 7, amat is the verb. That means he, she, or it likes, or he, she, or it loves. But we don't need the he, she, or it because poeta is the subject. There are 2 direct objects, teram and aquam, and they're connected by the word et. So number 7 will say, the poet loves the soil and the water. In number 8, ambulant is the verb. That means they walk or they are walking. But we don't need the word they because feminae is the subject, saipe means often, and we have a prepositional phrase in silvis, which means in the forests. So number 8 will say, the women often walk in the forests. In number 9, est comes first in the sentence, so that makes me suspect that it will be translated as there is. The subject of the sentence is pecunia, which means money, and a prepositional phrase in scapha means in the boat. So number 9 will say, there is money in the boat. In number 10, the word sed divides the sentence into 2 independent clauses. The first one, non sum agricola, means I am not a farmer, and the second one, teram amo, means I love the soil. So number 10 will say, I am not a farmer, but I love the soil.